It's time for the Charlotte Spartan Sprint recap, review, update, education session so you can be more prepared to get one of these. Let's start with the course stats. It was in Charlotte, North Carolina, 4.9 miles, 23 obstacles. It was my first race of the year, so I wasn't really expecting much out of myself. It's a pretty short course compared to what I'm used to, compared to what I usually run when I'm training, so the running wasn't too bad. Of course, I can tweak a few things here and there. I can always improve on my running, which is what I'm going to do for the next race. Just so you know, you get one attempt at every obstacle. If you fail it, you have to do 30 burpees. Yes, 30. Before you can move on to the next obstacle or continue running. I failed uno obstacle. That's one in Spanish in case you didn't know. It was the spear throw. That's the one I failed. I was kind of expecting to fail that one going into it, which, you know, it is what it is. I was planning on 30 burpees, no matter what. At least 30 burpees. Everything else I did, awesome. I was really happy with how I completed it. One mistake I made, which I will switch up for 2018, is that I joined the open heats. Perfectly fine. It's for most people who haven't ran it before, who aren't trying to compete, who kind of just want to go out there and run it. I like to compare myself to the previous races that I do. One issue that I noticed within the open heat is that I started to wait in quite a few lines to get done with obstacles. Because I'm pretty confident in myself and my training, I know what to expect. I know that I have a high likelihood of completing each obstacle. There's not too many issues there, unless I have some slip up and I fall. But it was unfortunate for me. I had to wait a few obstacles to kind of go through them, which stunk, but it wasn't that big of a deal because I knew what I was getting myself into. So for 2018, I definitely plan on running in the competitive heat, and I highly recommend you do that as well if you want to compare yourself to maybe a more elite group. It's not the pro heat, but it's the competitive heats. One thing I love about these races is that even if you know what the obstacles are going into it, you don't know what the conditions of the obstacles are going to be. Everything can get flipped upside down. Your perspective and knowledge of what's going to happen can always get switched up and screw with you. Point in case, there was an Atlas stone carry. So this Atlas stone was maybe 80 to 90 pounds for the guys. And I had trouble lifting it up probably 20, 30 feet, dropping it, and then picking it back up. The reason was because it was covered in stinking mud. I could not get a grip on it. I was walking up to it thinking, oh, I'm so good to go because I have an Atlas stone here at home. It's 140 pounds. I can pick it up. Sure, I can't pick it up like super easy, but I can struggle enough and I can get it and I can carry it 20 to 30 feet if I have to. I can carry it more than that. But the problem was, this one was caked in mud. So everything, it would constantly slip when I was trying to pick it up. So that was kind of cool, and it reminded me, hey, Jarrad, you're not as good as you thought you are. There's always different elements that can go into each of these obstacles, which I like. It's a whole nother challenge, and that's one of my favorite things about these Spartan races. Another obstacle I was really confident going into was the rope climb. Because in the previous years, the way I've gotten up to the bell, climbing up to the bell, is I would use all my upper body. So this year I wanted to switch it up and try to use my feet more, try to get my footing correct on the rope to help pull myself up, to help save some energy. In this case, I got to the rope and I noticed the bottom half of the rope covered in mud. But I said, you know what, screw it. I'm still going to try to use my footing to try to get me up to the top. Started to do it. I fumbled around with it for probably, I don't know, about a minute, and I said, all right, forget this. I'm not going to be able to get up there using my feet. I have to use my upper body again. So I had to revert back to my old ways and just pull myself up to the top of that bell with just my upper body. So if you're used to climbing a rope and using your feet, Get better at using your upper body. Build that strength so that if you do come to that rope climb and the bottom half is caked in mud, know that you will have to adjust. You'll have to change up what you were doing, what you were used to. You need to be ready and prepared for any situation like that. Another obstacle issue that I ran into, there is a sandbag rope pull down. Now, I practice rope pull downs on a regular basis, so they're usually no problem for me. Depending on when the race is, I can have enough energy to kind of pull it down really easily, or I can still get it down, but it might be a little tougher if it's later in the race and I've kind of burned quite a bit of energy. In this case, the ropes that you pull the sandbag with, caked in mud as well. So I would grab it and I would pull down. My hands would literally slip right through it like it was a wet noodle or a spaghetti. I could not get a grip. So at that point, I had to think about what I was doing and I had to switch things up. I had to think about it a little bit as to how I was going to pull this sandbag up, or pull the rope down, if you will. So instead of just trying to pull it with just my grip, I started to wrap it around my hand and pull it. Grab the other hand, wrap it around, pull it. In situations like that, you have to really be willing to think on the fly. You've got to be able to think about how you're going to get through this obstacle. What's going to be the smartest and best way to get through it? Maybe it's not going to be your normal way of just kind of muscling through it. Maybe you have to do a little thinking and you have to do a little evaluating before you enter into that obstacle, because you don't want to fall, because you're going to have to do 30 stinking burpees. Another reason that my time kind of got slowed down in this race was because I was helping people on the course as well, which I don't mind. I'm not just going to leave somebody struggling trying to get out of a mud pit by themselves. I'm going to sit there and I'm going to coach them, which is what I did in a couple obstacles. Not a big deal, but just be prepared for that. If you go out to one of these Spartan races, be prepared to help other people, because that's what it's all about. It's not necessarily all about just you, okay? Especially when you're in the open heats. Now, when you get into the competitive and the pro, you're on your own. Nobody's going to be sitting there to help you, because everyone's kind of competing for themselves. And I think that's going to be known. Finishing this Spartan race, I noticed there's a couple holes in my training, in my physical capabilities. Now, I finished all of the hanging obstacles, no problem. Like the monkey bars, the ring swings, if you will, and some of those obstacles. But I noticed my grip kind of started to weaken towards the end. I got through all the obstacles, no problem, but I need to be a little bit more prepared going into the next race, because some of them are longer, and I've got to be ready, and I've just got to have those really strong hands and those strong grips. So that's one thing I'm going to work on personally. There were 2 disappointments in this race, and I mean, it's not that big of a deal, but it was always nice in the previous races to have these kinds of things. So number 1 is they didn't have any finisher pictures, which was kind of a bummer, because I feel like that's one of the main reasons a lot of people do this, is they want to get that cool picture right after they cross the finish line with their medal, with their friends, and doing whatever pose they want, that big group of people that they're with. So it's kind of a bummer to see that they didn't actually have any finisher photos, which was really weird, really odd. I don't know what happened, if something fell through, but it wasn't a deal breaker, but it kind of sucked. The second thing I'm not even going to mention, because I just realized it's kind of stupid, so forget that. Let's talk about cool updates that Spartan Race did in 2017. Number 1 is the medal. The new medals are pretty cool looking, pretty slick. I love that. It looks all beat up and cut up from the butt up. Yeah, that's awesome. No, don't worry, I'm still here. I know, it looks like that's my head, but it's not. Don't worry. And let me give you a comparison of last year's medal. So this is 2016, this is 2017. My next favorite part about something new that Spartan Race did in 2017 was they finally upgraded the shirts, the finisher shirts that they give. Oh my goodness, these are so much better quality than previous years. It stunk because all the races I ran previously, I got the same shirt, different color of course depending on the race, but it was just the worst quality ever. I wasn't even able to wear it out in public because it just fit all weird and awkward. These ones actually, it seems like they maybe listened to people, because they really upgraded it, and I love this thing. I will wear it everywhere. But so here's the front, there's the back. and I'm definitely going to be getting a lot of these this year, so I'm really excited. I'm going to have some new shirts to throw in my little rotation. So that's my recap of the Charlotte Spartan Sprint. Overall, thumbs up, awesome job, Spartan Race. Just so you know, I will be doing recap videos like this after every Spartan race that I run. So I'm running a total of 8 this year, maybe 9 if I'm going to try to go for my triple trifecta. I don't know yet. We'll see how that fits into my schedule. But like, subscribe, follow if you kind of want to follow along, because I'm also putting out a Journey to the Spartan Race series so you can see my daily life, the training, and everything else that I'm doing. And yeah, that's it. So send me any questions if you have anything that you want to know a little bit more about the Spartan Race or how to train or anything like that. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions you have. I'm going to go, so A-D freaking os.
So, oh, it echoes in my soul.